Hello, guys. It's your girl, Steph Perez, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Tonight's topic is what did and didn't work to help me get to six figures in my business. So as you're popping on, say hello. We're going to get started in just a few moments. So say hello. Would love to say hello back to you. And if you do have a question, all right, if you do have a question in the live chat, you're going to see a little prompt and just somewhere in the comments, right? Just comment. Go ahead and write down your question if you do have a question for me. So tonight, I'm going to give you a rundown of what did work for me and what didn't work for me to help me get to six figures in my online business. I get asked questions all the time, and some of these things I literally don't even think about. And so when people ask me these questions, like it really inspires me to want to put out more content and more information to kind of lend to these questions, because for some questions, they're kind of like in the weed questions where really in the big scheme of things, the answer doesn't really matter. But in some instances, I can understand how the answer would help someone come to a conclusion for themselves. And I know that online, there's a big gap between those that are very successful and those that are struggling. And my biggest intention is to be a resource, like a real resource on a daily basis to help those that really want to make this their new way of life, which was the very, very first thing I said to myself when I came online in 2007, is that I wanted to make this my new way of life. And by doing what I'm going to share with you guys tonight, I was able to make it so. All right. And so I want to share the things that didn't work. I want to share the things that did work. And please understand, when I start talking about the things like that did not work, I'm not coming from a place of like, these are the things I know that do not work. I'm actually saying like, these are things that I tried or that I explored or, that I invested time, energy, and money into. And like, I'm telling you, right, like they did not work for me. All right. And then when we talk about the things that did work, clearly, like those are things that I've done, I've implemented, I've invested, time, energy, and money into them, and that they definitely have been a huge payoff inside of my business. So again, I want to do this as a resource. So if you're here live, right in the live chat, type in notebook, right? If you have your notebook and if you're ready to dive in. And I'll say this in the beginning, I'll say it probably somewhere in the middle. And of course, I will close it out by sharing this as well. On September 1st, which is just 2 days from today, I will be kicking off a brand new 100-day blitz. And it's called 100K in 100 days. And the significance of doing this blitz is I actually started my business 16 years ago on August 26, 2007 with a 100-day challenge. And what I did during that 100-day challenge is I just simply committed every single day to creating a video that I would upload to YouTube, documenting and sharing my journey. And during my first 30 days of that journey, I was able to make 28 sales inside of my business as a complete brand new person. And by the end of those 100 days, I had a community of hundreds of people. I had earned thousands of dollars. I was building my own email list. I had my own, capture page. I had my own system. I had my own autoresponders. I had reached a whole new place inside of my business, coming from someone that knew absolutely nothing about making money online on day number one. And because I committed to a 100-day journey of just documenting what I was learning and sharing that with other people, I started to be looked at as a mentor. And that was never like really my focus. Yes, I wanted to help people, but I never thought that people would be calling me a coach or a mentor or looking up to me the way that they were. But I do remember first getting started and wanting to really, really get this for myself so that I could turn right back around and really begin to help other people get it for themselves, because I knew what it felt like to fail. Because prior to the internet, I had failed in traditional MLM and network marketing. And I was one of those people where I was always trying really hard, working really hard, learning the scripts, going to the meetings, neglecting my family, like all of those things, right, to really give like my all into it. And I was one of those people where I saw so many people succeeding and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working for me. And so when I came online and I first started seeing videos on YouTube, I realized that was an outlet that I could actually use to grow my business. And so I allowed what worked on me to work for me, right? And I started to do that very thing in my business. And that's exactly how I kickstarted everything. And so tonight, what I want to do is share with you, right, what did work and what didn't work. And if you decide, right, that you want to work with me and you're like, you know what, I think a 100-day blitz for myself would be really, really advantageous. Don't be afraid of the title of my 100-day blitz. All right. The overarching theme, right, of the blitz that I'm going to be heading up and mentoring those that want to work with me is called 100K in 100 days. But it's more about a mindset of 100K. Right now, like I'm building, right, my foundation for 100K in 30 days. Like that's what I'm focused on. And so I'm really believing that over these next 100 days that I'm going to be able to earn $100,000 in 100 days. But I want you to think of it more as a mindset, right? Building the foundation for a six-figure business, whether that be 6 figures in 12 months, 6 figures in 6 months, 6 figures in 3 months, like whatever the case may be. I want you to get in the mindset of building a 6-figure business. And so we're going to be focused really, really heavily over those 100 days on your implementation, you taking action, you getting out there every single day and basically doing what I did during my first 100 days online, right? And so I'll be offering what I call like audio drops. And I'm doing this blitz in such a way where you don't have to commit to Zoom calls. You know, you don't have to commit to being someplace at a certain time. It's not something designed to like add more complication to your life. Instead, they're going to be audio drops that you'll get access to every day. And you can listen to those mentorship audio drops at your convenience. So maybe on your lunch hour or on your drive time or before you go to bed at night or whenever, and you can actually take action on what you learn during those audio drops. And the audio drops are designed to be very, very actionable and very focused. So it's pretty much like the power of one, right? When you are listening to the daily audios so that you can listen, right? Have your notebook right there, take whatever notes you need to take, get done taking notes, and then get out there and actually take action. So actionable is what I really want you to focus on. And I want you to think about this. One last point right before we dive into the notes. And again, I'll talk more about this towards the middle and I'll talk about it towards the end as well. Is I want you to think about where your business could be in 100 days. All right. Where can your business be in 100 days? Where would you like your business to be in 100 days? All right. I want you to think about what kind of revenue goal you have for those 100 days. And I know for most people, like that's what they're focused on, right? And I put this in my email today to my email list is whatever that goal is that you decide to set for 100 days, that becomes your North Star, which basically means like all roads, right? Everything you're focusing on, that's your North Star. That's what we're focused on every single day. So as you're listening to the audio drops, right, and you're taking action, you're planning out your action steps, you're doing so keeping, right, that intention, that revenue goal, right, that North Star in mind, right? And I just want you to envision like where your business could go and where your business could be over the course of 100 days, right? If you took amazing action every single day and you knew that what you did, right, was leading you towards your North Star. Just imagine where you could be. All I know is that in 2007, like I just knew my 100-day to prosperity journey was going to lead someplace. I knew it was impossible to fail. I knew that I was going to come out better. I knew that I was going to make money. I knew that I was going to be, a walking testament of what is possible to be brand new, to make a commitment, and for things to drastically change over 100 days. I knew. So I was bold enough to put together that challenge for myself. And it gave me something to work every single day. It like gave me an excuse for building my business. And so now that I'm doing this for myself, right, I want to welcome in people that want to ride with me during this because they want to explode their business over the next 100 days, which is going to bring us right into December, which is so exciting for me. Right. So in the description, you'll see a link, mygoprosystem.com. All you got to do is just make sure you have the tools that are on that page. All right. So just go to mygoprosystem.com, right? Make sure you have the tools. All right. You need to have the tools, right? Because that's going to ensure that you have everything you need to get set up for online business success really, really quickly, that you're going to have everything that you need to ensure your success. And it's going to also say, Steph, I'm putting skin in the game, right? Like, I'm here because I realize you're giving me 100 days of free mentorship, right? And so you've got to have skin in the game. And I want to make sure you have everything that you need so that when I make the calls, right, during these 100 days, that you know exactly where to go. If I reference things, you know you have access to what it is that you need. There's not going to be any upsells during these 100 days. So I need to make sure that you have exactly what you need. All right. So yes, notebook. If you are here live and you have your notebook, right, go ahead and say notebook. And if you guys are popping on right now, like if you're just popping on YouTube, right, you're going to see a little live element. Go ahead and make sure you press live. All right. So no matter where you're watching, whenever you get to this point and you press live, it'll bring you up to date. All right. Because sometimes if you just pop on, it will take you from the beginning, which is perfectly fine. All right. And for tonight only, actually it ends tomorrow. All right. So when you decide to get started, right, you have a few options that you can get started with. First off, the investment is way lower than $1,000. All right. To get positioned with both resources, right, it ends up being $610. All right. Both resources except Afterpay and accept Klarna. All right. If you have a challenge, all right, with using Afterpay or Klarna for whatever reason, you're in another country, for whatever reason, they're not giving you any love, message me personally, right? And I will set you up, right, with the to-pay option. And my personal in-house to-pay option, it is only good until tomorrow, right? So if you want in on this and you can't do Afterpay, you can't do Klarna for whatever reason, you must hit me up by tomorrow because this is not a standing offer I have in my business. All right. So if you want to get in and that's your only option, right, then make sure you message me and I'll get that special link over to you to take action on that. And that ends 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. All right. The 31st. All right. So let's dive in because we're going to cover a lot tonight. Okay. I'm not going to rush through this because I want you to get what you need to get so that you are confident on what it takes to build a six-figure business for yourself. All right. So let's first talk about what did not work. All right. What did not work? Keep in mind, okay, if you're taking notes, I got started August 26th of 2007. All right. I've been in business for 16 years. So I just finished celebrating my 16th year anniversary. All right. I've done a host of things, tried a host of things, invested my money in a host of things. Right. So I definitely know the things that I tried that did not work. Right. And they're not just things that I tried to dip my toe in the water, but there's a reason for why they didn't work and why I advise people against them. And clearly there are things that did work. All right. So number one, when it comes to what didn't work. All right. Number one. All right. Is indecisiveness. Please write that down. Indecisiveness. All right. I realized that whatever it is that I wanted, I was going to have to be decisive, that I couldn't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I couldn't have this attitude or mindset of, I don't know, right? I learned that a lot of the overwhelm, a lot of the confusion in my business was caused by me, like it was self-imposed. All right. So I'm not going to beat this up too much because you'll understand like how that really plays a role in everything I share. But a lot of times for women, we don't realize it, right? But especially for me, like I've been married 28 years. So like no cap, I've relied on my husband for a lot of different things. All right. Like I'm not one of these modern day women that are like, I don't need a man. No, boo boo. I need a man. That's how God intended it. So I need a man. Right. But I had to learn how to like think for myself. And so I remember this one exercise. I'll share this with you because it could be really, really fun if you find yourself an indecisive person and you feel like you're taking a lot of L's because you're indecisive, because successful people are not indecisive. You realize that, right? Successful people, if anything, they're slow to make a decision, but once they make the decision, they ride that baby out. All right. So it doesn't mean you got to rush and make decisions, but once you do make a decision, you back yourself and you ride that baby out. So the way that I got in the practice, you're going to hear me say this a lot tonight. Write this down, please. Everything is a practice. I don't care what you write down. If you don't decide to make things a practice in your life, right, they're never going to really become a part of your being, a part of your doing. You're never going to get better. And so one of the practices for me, right, to help me break through indecisiveness is I was sitting in the car one day and we were going through a drive-through. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to order something and stick to it. Why? Because that was an area of my life where I would order something. And then while my husband's ordering, I'm like, oh, no, I want this. Who can attest to this? Right? Oh, no, I don't want that. Oh, I don't want the Sprite. I want the shake instead. I don't want the French. No, Mitch, I want the onion rings. Oh, no, I don't want the Whopper. I want the chicken sandwich. And it would frustrate the heck out of him. But what was more important, right, than frustrating him was the fact that I realized I was indecisive in so many other areas of my business or of my life, right? And clearly it affected my business. And so one of the exercises I did was I'm like, Steph, you are going to order your food and you're going to turn away. And some of y'all that have had coaching with me, and I've talked about this, you've heard me share this before. I would order my food, and then as he was ordering, I would turn my head away because I was at that point, I was unavailable for changing my mind. Now, here's the really important part about indecisiveness, right? That'll totally change your business. Believe it or not, I discovered for me, the reason I was so indecisive is because I thought that I could actually choose wrong. So like in the case of something so simple as a meal, like I really thought that if I picked the meal, that I was not going to like it. So it's like I had to keep like giving myself other options and changing my mind because in my mind, I didn't really pick the thing I really wanted. When I realized, no, I picked that, and worst case, I don't like it. So what? It's just a friggin' meal. Do you see how fast that changes things? And so when I realized like nothing is like forever, nothing is like a true detriment, like I'm not going to truly break anything. It literally gave me more power to be decisive, right? And to make more empowering decisions that I could fully back. So indecisiveness has never, ever served me in my business. All right. Number 2, okay. Multiple streams of income mindset or chaotic selling. All right. Multiple streams of income mindset, or the way I look at it as chaotic selling, did not work for me. Now, I have multiple streams of income in my business, but I treat my business as a store where everything has the time and the place of when it's presented to someone. But I'm not the person where when you join my email list or you hang out with me on Facebook or as you watch my YouTube videos, like every single day, every single week, I'm talking about a new opportunity or I'm talking about something, new. And when I think about chaotic selling, right, this is what comes to mind in terms of why it didn't work in my business is because the style of marketing that I did, I realized like I'm not the person people just buy stuff from. I'm the person people buy stuff from because they want proximity. Like that's how I've set my business up. Like I'm not just the the person that sells the thing. I'm the person that sells the thing, right? Because people really want to learn from me. That's how I've set myself up. And so the way I learned this didn't work for me is that many, many years ago, when I was doing this kind of chaotic selling, there would be people that would find videos that I had done months prior. And when they caught my new content, right, they'd be like, well, what are you selling now? And the question they would always ask is, does that not work anymore? So chaotic selling, right, for me, it took people down a path where they were like, well, if you're no longer marketing anymore, something must be wrong with it. And I felt, for me, it killed my momentum. And I felt like I was explaining myself too often. And I felt like I didn't have a true flow in my business, again, because of the kind of marketer, right, and mentor that I am. All right. And for a lot of people, right, chaotic selling or multiple streams of income is their way of like hedging the bets, right? Well, if someone doesn't want this, right, then I can just throw this at them. Or if they're already in this, I can just throw this at them. For me, I can tell you if I would have stayed in that frame of mind, I would have never gotten to 6 figures because that is the polar opposite, right, of what actually got me to my very first 6-figure year. It's the polar opposite of what got me to my first solid 5-figure months or $5,000 months. It's the polar opposite of any actions that I've taken that have contributed to consistent months in my business. All right. And I find that most often it's the people that are newer, trying to figure things out, that are just putting way too many things on their plate And so they spend more time investing into things, less time actually on the marketing and the promotion side. All right. So for number 2, multiple streams of income mindset, chaotic selling, right, did not work for me inside of my business. And if I was coaching someone or mentoring someone, it's something I would strongly advise you not to do. All right. The next one, number 3, blaming. All right. Blaming. All right. I realized early on that for lack of, any other phrasing, not to sound corny, but if it was going to be, it was literally going to be up to me. Right? That it was never going to be because of someone else. It was never going to be because of an opportunity. It was never going to be because of a thing. It was never going to be because of anything outside of myself. Right? And so I always adapted the mindset of it's impossible to fail. And I refused to allow anything to prove otherwise to me. So very, very, very early on, right? Like it didn't take me failing, right, to realize that blaming other people wasn't going to get the job done. I just realized that it wasn't to my advantage, right? And I bring this up only because as someone that's been in the space for 16 years and mentored, coached, and spoken to a lot of people earlier in my business, I would get a lot of people that would come to me and they would say things like, I invested my money with this person, and they'd make an excuse for why they didn't succeed or why they didn't get out of the relationship what they thought they should get out of the relationship, right? Or, I have spent this amount of time in this business or with this tool, and do you think that this tool is better than that tool? And should I switch opportunities and join your opportunity? And the fact of the matter is, right, someone that has that mindset, right, is likely going to keep that mindset. And that's going to be the very mindset and the very action set, right, that's going to keep them from achieving anything. If they're willing to blame someone else, it's just a short period of time before they end up blaming you, right? If they're willing to blame a tool or a resource or an opportunity, right, whatever you're sharing with them, it's just a short span of time before they decide to blame whatever it is that you've given them. So what I realized, as you look around on the net, there are people from all backgrounds, all ethnic backgrounds, right? Men, women, young, old, retired, fresh out of college, all kinds of backgrounds, right? Marketing all kinds of stuff, doing it in all kinds of ways. They're succeeding massively as well as failing. So what I did was I realized that these people, at the end of the day, they just made their mind up, right? That they were going to hold on to something and they were going to make the best out of it, right? That they were going to simply succeed. You can spend a lot of your times making excuses and blaming circumstances, and that's what it really is, right? Blaming circumstances, right? Or you can decide, like I did in 2007, right? Before I even began my business, I'm making this my new way of life. No matter what I had to learn, no matter what I had to overcome, no matter what challenges came, no matter what hurdles came, right? I was going to make this my new way of life. And I framed my mind for that right out the gate. All right. And so if you go into this realizing that it's not about anyone else, anything, right, that you leverage in your business is an accelerant, right? So I'm an accelerant for those that choose to work with me. Right? My resources, my tools are an accelerant to help people elevate and grow faster in their business. If you always think of things as being an accelerant to you, right, and not the reason for, right, you'll end up being a lot more responsible in your business with the way that you look at things, approach things, and leverage things, right? And the likelihood is you'll start getting way better results for yourself. All right. The next one was, this is a biggie, like give me like praise emojis, right? Of like, you can totally attest to this one. One thing that did not work for me was comparing myself to others. I realized at a turning point in my business when I was starting to create my own products was I thought that I had to be like other people. And when I started venturing into this way in 2009, I chickened out on moving in this direction because I didn't see other people out there that looked like me. So again, I was comparing myself to other people that were already out there. I deal with it a lot with people that begin to work with me, and they compare their day one, right, to my year 16. And it's so unfair to you, right? And so for me, comparing myself to others absolutely did not work, right? I had to realize that The power in us being individuals was the power that gave people choices. If we were all trying to be clones of each other, right? Or if everyone that was trying to go into the personal development space was trying to be like Tony Robbins, what's the purpose in that? It's like having the only hamburger option be McDonald's. No, we want choices, right? Or the only chicken place being Popeyes. No, we want choices. You know what I'm saying? So in my business, I realized that when I compared myself to other people, it left me feeling confused. It left me feeling frustrated. It allowed me to feel like I was defeated. It allowed me to feel all these kind of ways that just weren't empowering. All right. So if you find yourself like in that space right now where you're not pushing ahead, you're not doing because you're comparing yourself to others, right? I'm just going to tell you to knock it off. There's no reason to compare yourself to others. Instead, I would say begin to really tap into like why you know you're here, like why you decided to make this your journey and to get started in this way and to really leverage that and to realize, right? One thing I would always tell myself is that there are people, right, that might watch this leader over here. And even though this leader could be phenomenal and making a boatload of money, I know that my most ideal person likely would not relate to her. And that's not a knock at her. That was a way of me reminding myself that there's space for me and I shouldn't be trying to compare myself or trying to be like somebody else. All right. So just realize that there are people out there right now. And I'm a firm believer in this. Like I truly, truly believe this, which is why I go hard the way that I go hard. And I literally don't care what people think of me. That wasn't always the case. Is because I truly believe, right? It's almost knowing that there are people that simply will not take action, will not progress, right? Will not reach their next levels, right? All the things that those things are not going to happen for them until they do encounter me. And I'm the person that calls them into action. That's not boldful or prideful. To me, that is the truth, right? And that same truth that I believe for myself, I empower other people to believe it for themselves. And so me believing that is the very thing that has been doing the things that I do, because I believe if I don't show up, I am slowing down the progress of other people because they're not going to say yes. They're not going to take action, right? Until they hear my voice, until, right, they come in contact with me and realize like I am the person to lead them on this journey. So get out of any kind of isms and schisms of comparing yourself. There was nothing good in it. And will just keep you really, really stuck. All right. The next one is shiny object syndrome, or constantly thinking the grass is greener on the other side. You can lump that in there with being indecisive. You can lump it in there with the multiple streams of income mindset and the chaotic selling, right? But you've got to decide to put your blinders on. Like you've got to decide that there are always going to be new tools, new opportunities, new mentors, new ways of marketing, right? There's always going to be something new. All right. That's not to say that they're bad, right? But and when we start getting into the things that I did, you're going to understand why there's no room for a lot of these things, right? Once you zero in again on your North Star, okay, the reason why it's so important to gain clarity over where you want to go is because once you know your North Star, it's easy to recognize the people, resources, and tools that are in alignment with helping you get there. So it's easy to be able to say no to a lot of these shiny objects that pop up, right? And to always remember, please write this down, that the grass is green where you water it, period. So yeah, the grass is always going to be greener on the other side, right? If you're taking your eyes off of your grass and you stop watering it and you're looking at the next guy's grass. Because the reason their grass is greener is because they're probably taking the time to actually tend to it and to actually water it. And that's why they're successful, right? The reason you're not successful or you're struggling, right, is that you never tend to your own grass long enough, right, for it to ever turn green, for it to ever do much of anything. So if you always understand, like for me, I chuckle. And for me at this stage, I'm able to see why certain things won't last. And this is not to poo-poo anything, but it allows me to stay on my true path and on my journey and not worry about all the other things that come out, right? And so if you always remember that the grass is green where you water it, and if you're like, wait a second, but that's my North Star, that's where I'm going, right? Like I know this is going to get me there, right? You put all of this stuff together, it all comes down to you, right? So no, I'm just going to remain my focus, right? And I'm just going to keep chugging straight ahead. right? So I'll give you a tip when it comes to this. It's really hard not to opt into things when you're online, like I'm telling you right now, right? I'm very curious, right? And I'll opt into Facebook ads. I'll opt in when I'm doing my traffic stuff. I'll opt into other people's offers, right? But what I am very, very quick to unsubscribe at the same time, right? I have to make sure I have a purpose for opting into things. If I know like I'm never going to buy and I know I'm definitely on my path, I just unsubscribe. Right. And so right now, what I would encourage you to do, like if you know shiny object, like is your nemesis, right? I would encourage you to go and begin unsubscribing from all of the emails, right? That are doing nothing more than just trying to sell you, but are not truly offering any real value. Eliminate all of the things that could be contributing to you spending more time evaluating new shiny deals, right? The Warrior Plus deals and, the ClickBank deals and, JV Zoo and this affiliate here and that affiliate here. And you got to get rid of them. You got to get rid of them because the majority of marketers out there are going to have a flavor of the month. The majority of marketers out there are trying to sell you things. They're not trying to mentor you to your next levels. Big difference. Really, really big difference. All right. So just avoid anything that can lead you down that path. All right. The next one, following the herd. I had to realize early on that just because, and I'm going to share this real quick. In 2013, a lot of you guys heard me share my story of how I had less than $200 in my bank account. And I was so lost in my business. I was down to like $1,400 a month is what I was bringing in after having really I had almost achieved six figures, right? A year in my business. And then I plummeted down to $1,400 a month. Do you know how? It's because I got so overwhelmed following the herd. And I literally looked up one day and I was like, what am I doing? And I was unexcited about anything I was promoting, right? I couldn't find any traction. I was one of those flavor of the month marketers and it just zapped my energy. That's the best way to put it. And I quickly realized that following the herd was not for me. It didn't matter what the big gurus were doing out there. I had to realize there were some people that were just their main job is to hop from program to program. And fortunately for them, they have an audience of internet junkies that will follow them from program to program. And I wasn't one of them. I'm not wired that way. And I was that person, right? Where I was leading people like that when I was following the herd. And it was always such an icky feeling, like no cap. It was so icky. It was not for me. I was spending more time evaluating offers, invested into new things, spinning my wheels than I was actually making progress. That's exactly how, right? Like my brand dropped down to $1,400 a month. I was literally scraping by. It's like literally I was following the herd because I had no true purpose for my own business. Are some of you guys, that have hung out with me for quite some time, like, are you seeing like why my marketing style and my brand is the way that it is I learned so much from what doesn't work, what doesn't serve me, and what doesn't serve other people. So when I say things like, I want to make every single dollar at the high service of other people, that's what I really mean. And that was one of those instances where I knew, right? Like serving the flavor of the month and constantly telling you why we need to add this element to our business makes zero sense. It makes absolute zero sense. And again, when we get to the things, right, that have helped me get to six figures, like you'll understand how so many of them are like polar opposite to this. So again, I don't share these things because I heard these are things you should avoid. I share these things because all of these things were done in my business and had a negative outlook, right? A negative impact on my actual business, right? And so you guys hear a lot of the ups, you hear a lot of the things I did right, you hear a lot of the success stories and a lot of the wins, but just because I did 28 sales in my first 30 days doesn't mean I made all of the right decisions moving forward, right? Like I had to figure out some things, and I'm so glad I figured out these things and went through these things because I feel like it's made me a better mentor, right? To be able to guide people down, right? A path, right? A more narrow and straight path to help them get what it is that they want. All right. Starting and stopping as well. All right. You have to stop starting and stopping. All right. I see it all the time, right? Starting and then, you start doing something, you stop for a couple of weeks, you stop for a couple of months. Like you might as well just decide this is not for you right now and do nothing, because the starting and stopping, literally it kills everything in your business, right? You cannot build up mojo, right? You cannot build up momentum starting and stopping. So it's so imperative that you gain clarity, like over what it is that you want. You align right in the programs or in the systems that are going to help you in getting there, right? Whether that's mentorship, whether that's opportunities, whatever, you would align in the vehicles that are going to help you get there, right? You put your freaking seatbelt on, right? And you go. You create a plan and you go. The starting and stopping is no bueno. All right. And again, when I had plummeted down to $1,400 a month, that's exactly what was happening. I was starting and stopping, right? Which for me, starting and stopping was joining opportunities, making a little bit of money, deciding I didn't like it, hopping off to something else, making a little bit of money, deciding I didn't like it. Because why? I had no direction. I had no North Star. I just didn't know. I was all over the place. All right. You've got to decide that and understand that momentum, right? Like that's what's going to get you where you want to go. Right? The daily actions, right? That compound day after day after day after day. All right. The Slight Edge. If you're going to be working with me over these next 100 days, go ahead and get this book. All right. Get this book. This is going to help you get through these 100 days. And I want you to read it, right? If you can, right? Towards the beginning of these 100 days, because it'll allow you to treat these next 100 days, right? With a lot more seriousness. All right. Most people just aren't serious about their success. This book is going to allow you to realize why this 100 days is so important, right, to your business. All right. So we got to kill the starting and stopping, right? For those of y'all that are going to be riding with me during this 100-day blitz, 100K and 100 days blitz, you're going to be amazed when you see what 100 days of consistent, targeted action will do for your business. It's going to literally blow you away. All right. This is one of those things where, of course, we give an income disclaimer, right? I can't guarantee you're going to make any kind of money, but I can guarantee like you're not going to recognize your business at the end of 100 days. You're just not, right? You may think that you know what it's like, but I'm telling you, the path I'm going to lead you down over these 100 days, right? Your actions are going to compound. All right. So there's a difference between starting a diet, as an example, like saying on day number 1, I want to lose 50 pounds, and having a plan for 100 days. And actually, let's take that back. Not having a plan, but let's just simply say you say over 100 days, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. And on day number 1, you wake up and you're like, oh, keto is a great way to lose weight. And so you start doing keto. All right. You do keto and you're like, I'm going to start doing like 7,000 steps a day. So you put your little, you put your little walking app on and you make sure you get your 7,000 steps in. And let's say you do that for 3 or 4 days. And then another friend is like, oh, I totally slayed it on Jenny Craig. Right. And so then you stop what you're doing and you spend a little bit of time researching Jenny Craig. So while you're researching Jenny Craig, you're not doing what you were doing. You're researching Jenny Craig and then you decide to get on that way of doing things. Imagine if every couple of days or every week or so you were switching up your routine. How successful do you think you would be over 100 days of hitting your goal? Versus selling yourself on day number 1, right? This is what I'm doing. And knowing, here's the power right now of knowing that every single day as you take your actions, that your actions are compounding because they're working together. They're working synergistically versus 100 days of one-off activities, right? 100 days of just, saying hello on Facebook and then disappearing for a couple of days and then, come make a bunch of money with me 10 days later. And then, I'll do this oddball video over here. And then you look up and you're like, well, I was in the game for 100 days, but no, you really were not, right? No, you really were not. All right. So believe it or not, starting and stopping will absolutely kill you. And it's not just the actions, but it's the actions, right, that create synergy, that create momentum, and that actually feed off of each other. And that's what I want to help you build. All right. And I learned again early on that starting and stopping does not serve anybody. All right, y'all, that's how I was able to go from brand new to 100 days, earning thousands, right? Building a community of hundreds of people that were like hungry for the knowledge that I had to offer them and give them. They wanted to learn from me because they saw I was going places. They saw that I was getting results, right? They saw how I was taking action. I went from like, what's a savings account to like literally stashing thousands of dollars away. We went from a place of like never vacationing to going on our first mini vacation, with our kids. We were able to move from our small little apartment, into a house. Like so many significant milestones that happened during those 100 days, right? And those 100 days, right, framed the way that I went into the next year. So around end of December, January is when I started beginning to experience the kind of income where I was matching my nursing income. So think about like where you are financially in life right now. If you use these 100 days as like, a jumping off period or a stepping stone or however you want to look at it, right? And to know that here's the thing, is I got started with a $5 opportunity. Like I had to work myself up, right? But what I will tell you, right? Actually, I'll talk about that in the other section. I started with something far less and I had to leverage it very creatively, right? To actually get to a point where my money had meaning, right? Where it wasn't just nickel and dimes that were coming in, right? But so that it could actually stack. And so those 100 days of not just willy-nilly action, but literally every single day. So I'm telling you right now, and I'm sure I probably have already scared off some people, there's not an excuse you can tell me because I was a busy nurse. My kids were little. My husband was finishing up nursing school. I did work overtime. I didn't have a whole lot of money to monkey around. Right. But what I did know is that I could every single day upload a video to YouTube and share my journey with people and invite them to buy the resource that was helping me. That was the very simple commitment I made every single day, and to simply keep learning, right, what was going to get me to my next levels. So I had 100 days, right, of action, right, targeted action that just kept building upon itself. That is the magic right there. All right. So you got to stop to start and stop. All right. 365 in power. Y'all, let me tell you something. You guys know I started August 26, 2007, right? And back then I used to put my phone number everywhere. And on Christmas Eve of that year, right? Christmas Eve of 2007, I get a phone call, right? And it was from Miss Rhonda K, 365 in power. Y'all, this is why I love what I do. Is because it's like where I'm at right now, I'm reconnecting with so many amazing people and souls that I came in contact with when I first got started. But she called me on Christmas Eve and basically she was like, I want to do what you're doing, right? And she aligned with me on Christmas Eve. So again, you guys understand how things like that happen, right? It's because I was crazy consistent. Like she might have gave it some thought whether or not she should contact me, but she contacted me. Right. And she didn't allow it to be, oh, it's Christmas Eve. She took action. Right. But attitude reflects leadership. Right. And so the likelihood is she had probably saw a lot of my videos out there. Right. And it prompted her to want to connect with me in that way. Like I will forever remember, right, like that story. So you guys, like you never know who's out there watching you. And if you're starting and stopping, like you are a total sign to them of what's working. They don't want to people don't want to follow people like that or align with people like that. It's the consistency in what you're doing that really does make a difference, right? And people wanting to do what it is that you're doing. SLT Business Consulting, my book will be here tomorrow. Yes, I love hearing that. Jordan says, I appreciate your honest, straight up approach. Thank you so much. Okay, so a couple more things that did not work. Schemes and gimmicks, too good to be true, right? Y'all, we all fall for them. I certainly did, without a doubt. There were a couple of times, right, where it's like everything in me was like, okay, this is too good to be true, but because I have first mover's advantage, because I'm locking my spot, because I'm your girl, Steph Perez, because this guru referred me to this has got to work out, right? Like this has got to work out. And let me tell you, every single time I knew that it was too good to be true, like it just didn't add up. Guess what? It was too good to be true, right? And the opportunities went away. In some instances, I made a little bit of money before they were snatched away. And y'all, guess what? There was one opportunity that went away And guess what? I end up being involved in a lawsuit where I had to pay back money because it was proven to be a Ponzi scheme. And because I was one of the few people, right? Few people that actually made money, I actually had to give that money back. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I had to give the money back. I was involved in a class action lawsuit that wasn't in my favor, And so I'm telling you, like, you want to get to six figures, don't look for things to be easier. Don't look for the schemes. Don't look for, again, I wish it was easier, all these different things. Because if they are too good to be true, the likelihood is they are. Learn how to trust your gut. Right? Like literally, like learn how to trust your gut and to reason why things make sense and why they don't make sense. All right. The next one is being an island. I realized, gosh, too late to be quite honest with you, that I needed people, right? Not just meaning people to buy from me. That was never my problem, but collaboration, mentorship, people that I could actually look up to, that I could collaborate with, business besties, like things of that nature. I realized I was so much of an island, right? And believe it or not, it created a lot of bitterness without me even knowing it. A lot of feeling like I was on the outside. I feel like I missed out on a lot because there was really power in collaboration, right? And believe it or not, when I realized that I was not an island and I did started to collaborate, and I'm an introvert, like by nature. So it's easy for me to want to be an island, but it's no excuse to be an island. When I started to collaborate, I started to play nicely, and I started to do things that got me around other people. And believe it or not, my first mentorship community, meaning what I invested in, was one of those things that allowed me to realize the power of collaboration, because I was able to meet a lot of really great people by making that investment. And that's when I really began to realize the upswing in collaboration. All right. So just know I would have never gotten to the levels I've gotten to by just being an island, right? Like people literally do need people. And there were so many great ideas. There's power in energy and vibe, and there's been so many times where I'll connect with my biz bestie to help her, and I end up leaving the call like feeling so much like higher myself, right? Because I helped her, which helped me get some realizations. Like, just know that you're not in this by yourself, and if you try to stay in this by yourself, you're gonna find it as a very, very like long, hard road. There's so much power in collaboration, and there are really good people out there that are willing, right, to again collaborate and to collectively give, right, to create those win-wins. That's to me, that's been like such a big thing for me, and I have to share that because I know there are a lot of people that are like, I'm shy and I'm an introvert, and they'll use all of these excuses. And as long as you are an island, you're going to find it very, very difficult. And I know for me, I didn't reach my next levels. I always did better, always did better, right? When I actually had people in my corner to work with. And then the final one for the things that did not work, I'm sure the list could go on and on and on, right? But they probably could fit underneath these things, but chasing money. So a lot of times when you are falling for schemes and gimmicks, things that are too good to be true, you believe you need, multiple streams of income that just entirely don't make sense for your business. You just join them to join them. When you're chasing shiny objects, believe it or not, right? You're chasing money, right? And remember the thing about things that are chased, right? When things are chased, if I were to get up and go chase my cat, what is my cat going to do? Even though my cat knows me, if I just go chase it, right, with this crazy energy, all of a sudden, my cat's going to run from me, right? So things that are chased are designed to evade you. They're not going to come close to you. Instead, find a reason, right, for why you're doing what you are doing, right? Which again, if you adapt Zig Ziglar's, mindset, right, and what he said, you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. Right? But all these activities, right, they just lead you to chasing money, right? And then you put your faith and belief in all of these things, and you think that you need 100 opportunities. You think you need to have an autoresponder filled, right, with 365 opportunities. So every day of the week when a new email goes out, a new offer goes out, you think you're hedging the bets. Right? But I'm telling you, you don't attract leaders that way. You don't attract people, right, that want to invest in that way. I would have never gotten to six figures, right? Chasing money. And I learned that very, very early on, which is why I have always been really, really down for people. Y'all, I gave so big, right? Even in the early days where it was far less than $100 to align and work with me. I gave so hard to my community because I wanted them to understand and to know what was working for me so that they can begin to experience success for themselves as well. Right. And to this very day, and I think I'll talk about this in the things that I did. Like, people are our greatest asset in our business, right? People are our greatest asset in our business, right? And so another thing that I could, as I'm thinking about this, I can add in this is, one thing that did not serve me is having this I'm untouchable, I'm unapproachable, right? Vibe in my business, right? Like, you have to jump through all of these hoops. There's a lot of people out there that are like that. That for me, it doesn't serve me because I love knowing that someone can DM me, right? That has, when I say earned it, I mean like they have like raised their hand and they're like, Steph, I want to work with you and we are working together. I love being able to answer their question and to know that in that split moment, I've given them clarity or I've given them an action step that's going to get them clear so they can take their next action. I'm not opposed to answering an email and going as in depth as I need to get someone out of a fog or to say, oh no, you're just on the wrong link. Because I know what it was like in 2007, having to figure all of this out for myself, right? So when I say like I'm a real resource in my business, like I got to six figures because I decided to be a resource for people. Write that down. Like that right there, right, is a six-figure play. And for everybody, the way you decide to be a resource will be different. I'm not saying you've got to be a big giver the way that I am, but it serves me and I love it. I sleep well at night. And I believe because I am a big giver in that way, right? Money effortlessly does flow to me and people are eager to do business with me and want to do business with me, right? But you've got to find a way to decide to be a really big giver inside of your business because people are your greatest asset. They really, really are. So you help enough people get what they want and you will get what it is that you want. All right. Rhonda says, oh, wow, the island example is true. I just started collaborating on and offline. That's something I want to do. I want to start a meetup in my area. Yes, I love the example of chasing money. And you guys, I share these things because I never want you to think like I didn't do these things or I didn't make these kind of mistakes. I absolutely did. It's real easy. Here's the thing. When you get good at this and you know that you can jump into anything and make money, it's real hard to avoid a lot of, what should I say? It's real easy, right? To just want to jump into things knowing you can make a quick buck. So you really have to define like why you're doing what it is that you're doing, because it's going to be the focus, right? That's going to help you get there. It's not all the aimlessly jumping around, right? Thomas says, that's true. People who eventually join me, let me know they have been watching my videos first. Exactly. All right, guys. So let's talk about now what did work. All right. So again, tonight I'm sharing what did and what did not work to help me get to six figures. All right. How many of you guys out there, like you have a goal, you have an ambition, right, to building a six-figure a year business for yourself, or let's just say a six-figure business, right? Because you might be like me, where you're like, I'm trying to condense my time frames and bring that six figures in, right? I want to do that a couple of times a year or whatever. But how many of you guys, right, like that, you're aspiring, right, to building a six-figure business for yourself? All right. I really hope that what I'm sharing tonight can be an eye opener to you. It can help you steer clear of things, maybe, self-evaluate what's going on inside of your business, and maybe even help you do things a little bit differently to get the results that you actually want. All right. And so again, if you do want to work with me over these next 100 days, we're going to kick off on September 1. I'm doing a 100-day blitz, 100K in 100 days. And that 100K in 100 days is all about a mindset, right? It really is a six-figure mindset, right? And helping you to accomplish more than you likely ever thought you could accomplish in 100 days. All right. I've done this 2 times before and the results have been remarkable. The one thing I'm realizing is that that people need, like the daily, I shouldn't say need, I really don't want to use that word. People really benefit from like kind of like that constant reminder, constant help, constant guidance. Some people just, it works for them. And that's what I want to be able to give for this, right? So not only will you be taking action on a daily basis, but you'll be guided, right? Like you'll be there for inspiration, for targeted guidance, right? Like you're going to feel empowered, right, with the things that are being shared throughout this 100 days to help you in taking action in such a way where over 100 days you're building to your actual success. My goal is that you do not recognize the business, right, that you started on day number 1, right, by day number 100, right? And I believe for a lot of y'all, it's going to be somewhere in between there, right, where you're going to see a remarkable difference inside of your business. I know that's exactly what I'm expecting for myself. All right. So if you go to mygoprosystem.com, Bob's your uncle. All right. For you guys that know that saying, right? I love that saying, right? Bob's your uncle. Go mygoprosystem.com, right? Get access to the tools that you need. Get access to those tools, right? That locks you into this 100-day challenge. All right. Tomorrow, I will be sending out an email. I'll probably have to send it out a couple of times, but I'll send out an email, right, to make sure that you know exactly where to go, what the intention is. Again, it's so easy to take advantage of this. There's nothing you have to show up to. There's no Zoom calls. I'm not trying to do that to anybody, but instead they're going to be daily audio drops. And so you can decide, right, to listen into these on a daily basis as it suits you. Drive time, lunch break, whatever, right? Have your notebook, right? Grab your ahas and then take targeted action inside of your business. All right. If you go to My GoPro System, right, for both offers, right, Afterpay is accepted as well as Klarna if you need to spread out your payments. So even for the $100 blueprint, right, you can spread out your payments. And then for the turnkey system, again, you can spread out your payments. All right. If you're having trouble because maybe you're in a different country or you just can't get Afterpay or Klarna to work with you, right, for a very limited time, like tomorrow night time, right, I am extending an in-house payment plan. All you got to do is just email me and say, Steph, I need the in-house payment plan, and I will send you that link, right? You'll pay $275 today and then $275 30 days from today, all right? And that will lock you in. But My GoPro System is where you can get all of the information. Basically, it's learn and earn. So you're going to learn how to set up your online business from the ground up. You're getting completely set up for success, right? And you're getting access to all of the resources, right, to help you take action on a daily basis as well when you access the blueprint, right? So it's like literally, I feel like it's like a total match made in heaven when it comes to like what we're giving people access to. And if you're anything like me, like you're going to feel so confident going out there into the marketplace on a daily basis for 100 days, right? Like offering this to other people. So I'm so excited, right, to help you along with this. And I just look so forward to celebrating your successes and celebrating your wins and just really helping you, right, in these next 100 days. SLT Business Consultant. Yeah, so you too. Actually, you know what? Go to dailycashguide.com. I'll put it in the link. dailycashguide.com. And that will just take you directly there. SLT Business Consulting. Yep, I must be a resource for people. That is it. That is it. It's the heart to really, really want to serve. It's the heart to really, really want to see people win. You know, it's like Jordan is someone newer to the community. She invested into the blueprint, and I've been watching her videos like the past couple of days. Yesterday was my first video watch, and then today, and I'm like, it reminds me of when I first got started. Like she's so raw and authentic, and just, you know, just sharing with people like what she's learning. She's talking about what she's been able to do since she had the blueprint. And she's just telling people like, if you want to learn this too, and you want to get this as well, and you want to, you know, have everything that you need and learn from it, like she's like, this is a great place to start. And I can tell she's really taking to heart a lot of the things that she's learning from me, just even in my live content, right? And she's making it her own in terms of like the stories that she's sharing to help people. And I'm telling you, like, people love that stuff, right? That's what I'm going to be helping you guys with over these 100 days is like how to create almost like your own reality experience. You don't have to be anybody's coach. You don't have to be an expert, right? You're just on a journey, and what you're willing to do is to take other people on the journey with you, right? And to help them learn and earn right alongside of you. You are their tour guide. Write that down. I know that we are in the world that everybody's a coach, right? And everybody is a consultant and everybody is this expert. But you literally, like, you are a tour guide. You found something awesome, and now you want to turn other people onto that awesome thing so that they can benefit too. That's all that this is. That's all that I did in 2007, right? Being a mentor and being a coach, like those are things that just came with the territory for me because I wanted to serve in that way. I like wanted to help people. I hated seeing them struggle, right? And so I felt like it was my duty to be that person to help them. But even in that, I did nothing more than just share with them, like, I was told to build a capture page. So this is the resource I learned how to build a capture page through, right? And I'm recommending it to you too. Like, it was that simple to me. And I took them over my shoulder and I showed them how to build the capture pages. And it was that simple, right? It was just that simple. Wow, I'm so ready for this. I'm excited for you, Rhonda. Really, really, really excited. I know this is like right up your alley because you are a big teacher and a big giver just like I am. All right, you guys. So here are some things that I did. All right. Someone tell me take my time because I always feel like the spirit of needing to rush because, you know, sometimes I just know how people can be, but I want to be able to walk away from this, like knowing like I left it all out there for you. And like, you're like, you know what, like this is exactly what I needed. Because I would have loved, again, I think all the content that I create out of a spirit of like, I wish I would have had this when I was getting started. Right. So number one, right, things I did. All right, was building an email list. In those first 30 days when I made those 28 sales, I was sending people directly from my videos to the sales page. All right, so like with my blueprint as an example now, let's say that was the opportunity. I was sending people directly from my videos to dailycashguide.com. Okay, now don't get me wrong, like making 28 sales. Okay, so let's say I already used Jordan as an example. So let's say that's what Jordan is doing, right? And I don't know if she's doing this or not, but I know she's out there sharing her story. But let's say that over the next 30 days, Jordan keeps doing what she's doing. And she's sending people directly from her video content over to the sales page for the blueprint. And let's say that over the next 30 days, she makes 15 sales. All right, so 100 times 15. Let's just go and say 28. Let's use the same number that I use, right? So let's say over the next 30 days, she makes 28 sales. That's $2,800. All right. I guarantee you she's not going to be like, y'all, I totally messed it up because I wasn't building an email list. But then let's say I'm like, yo, Jordan, like I noticed like you're kicking tail, girl. You're doing good, right? You made all of these sales, but I noticed, right, that you're sending them to a sales page and not a capture page. And I share with her why she should have a capture page. That's what happened to me. So my first 30 days, I knew nothing about no kind of capture page. I tell you guys know so much more than I knew when I was getting started. Now, whether y'all do it or not, it's a whole nother story, but y'all do know more than I did when I was getting started. I always got to step on toes. So I knew nothing, but then my girl Staten came along, right, which was my first customer. And she knew more than I did, but she bought from me on day number 3 of my business. And she said, Steph, like you're kicking tail. She's like, however, you're leading people to a sales page. She said, what about all those people that went and didn't buy? She said, if you sold 28, think about how many people went and didn't buy. So she got me to understand the power of building my own email list. So then the next week, what did I do? I went out there and I looked up. I was like a mad scientist on Google, how to build an email list. And I scraped together all of the tools and the things that I would need. And within a week, I had, right, my very first capture page set up. So now when I was doing my videos, right, nothing changed with my videos, but instead of people going directly to my sales page, they went to a capture page, right? So from like day 45-ish on, I was building my email list, right? And so the email list allowed me to actually make more money, both in the short term and the long term, right? Because it gave me the opportunity to follow up with people and build know, like, and trust and relationships with people that maybe weren't ready to buy or got distracted or for whatever reason, they just didn't buy. And for those that did buy, they were still on my email list, right? And I got to build a deeper community and deeper connections with them, right? So I will honestly tell you, out of everything, like building an email list is like so high up on my priority list, right? When it comes to actions that have contributed to me earning 6 figures, all right? My very first year hitting 6 figures, it was 108. Actually, my first year hitting over 6 figures, because I had a year of hitting 6 figures, and then the next year I hit over 6 figures, and that was 108,000. But get this, 86,000 of it came because of having an email list, meaning people joined my email list. And out of that 108,000, right, some $20,000 or $30,000 of it came from people that watched the video and bought directly, all right? The other 86,000 were because they joined my email list and through the course of that year made the decision, right, to open an email, to click, and to invest. Had I not had my email list, who knows what would have happened to all of those people, right? I can guarantee you I probably would not have collected that $86,000. So it's like almost six figures, right, from having an email list. So I'm so grateful that was one of the very first lessons I learned, right, outside of stacked income when I was first getting started. So for sure, building an email list, one of my greatest skill sets, right, for getting to six figures. All right. So make sure that you are building an email list, like from today, right? From today, build an email list. All right. If you need a really, really great resource, feel free to email me and I will actually tap you into the resource I'm tapping all of my people into now. I've actually been invited to become an influencer for the actual company, which I'm so excited about. I've been like waiting to have this kind of opportunity, and I feel like I found like the right resource to do this with. But email me, right? If you're like, Steph, I need to build an email list, email me and I'll let you know like the tool that I highly recommend, or go to my GoPro system, right, and learn how to build your business completely from the ground up, right? That's what like me and my community are really doing right now. All right. So my GoPro system can help you tap into all of that. All right. Second was branding me above all. All right. Branding me above all. All right. I'm going to talk about a mistake as well as this at the same time, how I came to this understanding. It's so easy, you guys, to get out there. And so people like Rhonda can attest for this. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that's known me and that was like in that kind of era with me. It's really easy when you are aligned with like an opportunity to get out there and to create a bunch of content around the opportunity. All right. What happened for me is that a lot of those opportunities would go away. And so I ended up having a lot of really great content that I really couldn't use in an evergreen way because the company was no longer around. Therefore, people were never searching for that content anymore, which means that content couldn't help me in my business. So what I had to learn after many, many years of being in business is it doesn't matter what I'm selling, all right, that I've got to brand me and that whatever I'm offering, right, is within my brand. It's a solution that I offer. It's not the thing, right, that is like front and center. It's never in front of my brand. All right. So branding you, again, high importance. All right. Because if you want to build a six-figure business or a six-figure brand for yourself, like you want people doing business with you, right? Not because of something that might not be here forever. All right. So like literally, it's almost like email marketing, right? I look at so many people that are like in my world, back in my world, that have, invested a lot of money with me over the years. And it's not because of the thing, right? It's because I built a brand. I show up for my brand, and branding has nothing to do with your colors, your fonts. It has everything to do like with what you stand for, like who you are, right? So like my brand, right? Your girl, Steph Perez. I'm always amazed at people who know me that like, I really do not think I'm that big of a deal. But I'm always amazed at people that know me just because I've built a brand for myself. It's not about how many people, are following you. It's not about how influential like your numbers are. It's really about like when people think of you, right? If someone were to say your name or it stands all by itself, right? No matter what it is that you're actually marketing. So always think about like your brand is the umbrella, right? It's the actual store, and anything, right, that you're offering your ideal people is underneath it, right? The way that I looked at this when I really began to understand this is I didn't want to be the pure profit girl anymore, right? That was the last business opportunity that I marketed that's no longer around, right? I was the $5 chick for many years because of the initial opportunity, right? Online Business Alliance, right? Again, that's no longer around either, right? But I realized like that's not what I wanted to be known for, right? I want to be known as your girl, Steph Perez, right? I want to be known as, right, like the GOAT online business mentor, like my girl Jessica called me the other day. Like, that's what I want to be known for, like being a resource, right? Earlier on in my career, I used to call myself the people's marketer, right? I got that from The Rock, right? He's the people's champ. I'm like, well, I'm going to be the people's marketer. I really wanted to stand for something bigger than just the things that I would offer, right? So branding you above everything else, first and foremost, right? Really, really important. And that's why the use of video is still important. The use of sharing your pictures, my story marketing, all of those things, extremely, extremely important. All right. Number 3, all right, things that I did, right, to help me get to 6 figures. Honing my craft when it comes to knowledge and skills. When I understood what I had to learn and what I had to know and what I had to learn how to do inside of my business, like I got really, really serious about honing my knowledge and honing my skills. Because I realized, well, I could plug into like plug and play opportunities and things that were like done for me. Again, if we understand how important branding yourself is, I'm never going to rely upon a company's capture page system. I'm never going to rely upon a company's marketing system. I am always going to create my own capture page. And that's why with the Daily Cash Guide, I was like, I don't want to have any parts, right, with creating a capture page system for people. Because again, like one of my philosophies is, I want you to brand yourself. This is not about me. You brand yourself. People join this because of you, right? And so, honing my skills and getting good at this, good at digital marketing and good at online business, right, has contributed to me earning 6 figures. Why? Because skills pay the bills. So even though I'm a great marketer, I'm a great promoter, right? Because I'm very skillful, like I've been able to make a lot of things happen for myself to fill in a lot of financial shortfalls along the years, right? By being able to leverage my digital marketing knowledge, my online business knowledge, my online business skills, my digital marketing skills to create opportunities, right? And various income streams, right? For my own business. And so if you are serious about getting to 6 figures, I don't want you to fall into this trap of leaving it up to other people, right? Don't fall into this trap of leaving it up to other people. Decide, no, this is where I'm calling home, right? Like I want to be a resource to people. I want to be a help to people. I want to be a leader. Therefore I'm gonna take the time to learn this stuff and develop myself, right? If nothing more than just for my own business, right? And to me, one of the biggest things about honing my craft is the fact of things happen. And so I always love knowing that if someone were like, hey, Steph, your link is down, or hey, Steph, something's wrong, I know exactly where to go in my systems to tinker with something or to make a diagnosis, right? If someone's like, Steph, this is what's going on, right? I make it a point of being able to say, okay, well, I can tell you what's going on. Like, send me a screenshot or let's figure out what's going on, right? So I want to encourage you to really get serious and hone your craft. Again, I say this because it's easy to say your business is bigger than good morning on Facebook, right? It's bigger than getting people to DM you. You've got to decide to get really serious about this. All right. So when we think about things like emailing, building an email list and branding yourself, those are all built upon honing your skills. And again, inside of my GoPro system, right? Guess what? You learn all about branding yourself, right? You have an entire module on branding yourself and what that means and how to just establish your brand messaging, right? And I beat up branding yourself in the blueprint, right? And so you gotta really decide to hone your craft, right? It makes a difference, believe it or not, when you are out there, all right? And I'll say this, I can't tell you over the years how many times people have decided to do business with me because they wanted to model what they see me doing. They wanted to act, they're like, oh my gosh, like your system set up so smoothly, right? I want to model it, or they wanted to model it, right? So again, another asterisk there. My GoPro system, guess what? You come on, you're joining us during this 100-day journey, this 100-day challenge, this 100-day blitz, right? You get to model that exact same system. I send you an email, right? Giving you all of the instructions, right? The share code, the video guidance to model that exact system from capture page, right, to the sales page. I give you my talking points if you want to redo a video for yourself on the page, But everything that's there, you have a license, right, to offer it to your people as well, right? Beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. Number 4, right? The attraction marketing flow, right? Attraction marketing flow. I am so glad that early on I realized the power of attraction marketing. To this very day, there are people that are so like deathly afraid of things like videos, right? And if you look at it now, like video is the way, okay? I'm not saying like social media posting and other things don't work. They clearly do work, right? However, I want you to think just for a moment, the last buying decision you made, what was it based upon? The last buying decision you made, what was it based upon? The last person that maybe you locked into, what was it based upon? And so one of the first things I learned early on, like literally was the power of my story marketing. It was the power of, again, back to branding yourself, right? Attraction marketing, putting ourselves out there in such a way, right? Telling our stories, sharing our journeys, right? Connecting with people and calling people into us that are attracted to who we are as human beings. Attraction marketing is what got me started in 2007 because I saw ordinary people doing extraordinary things on video in a simplified way, and I believed that I could do it too. That right there will take the excuse away of you thinking that you need some kind of fancy backdrop, that you need to do things in a fancy way. You need all of these over the top things, because the moment someone believes what you are doing is out of reach or out of touch for them, you've lost them. But when someone is like, oh, I can do what Jordan's doing. Like, I need to get this blueprint because I can do what she's doing and I want to do what she's doing. So attraction marketing is like, the way I look at it, it's inspiring people, right, who aspire to do, right, what it is that you're doing, right? That's the power, right, of doing business in this way. Videos, live streams, right, reels, shorts, anything, right, where people can quickly connect with you. They can identify, they can connect, right? It's going to help you literally make money a heck of a lot faster inside of your business, right? It breaks down barriers, it breaks down walls, and it connects people, right? A heck of a lot faster, right, than anything else that's out there. All the extra things that I encourage you to do, like email marketing, right? Again, that's part of the follow-up process. That is an accelerant. But here's the power of email marketing once someone's connected with you through video. All right, is guess what? In my emails, I can, for y'all that are out there, I know my clients will say this because I hear all the time, right? But for those of you guys that read my emails, do you hear my voice in your emails, right? Can you tell the way I'm saying certain things, right, in my emails? Can you feel my vibe? Do you hear my voice? Like, do you know what it is I really, really mean, right, when you read some of my emails? That's the power in it, right? That's part of attraction marketing. And you want to get in a way in your business, right, where it's like everything is feeding off of each other. That's why for a lot of ways, right, it's not like I'm against certain marketing strategies. I just believe everything has its place, but there are just certain things that like video, like that can't replace video, right? That just simply can't replace video. And I've made so much money, right, from people that have watched my videos and made buying decisions without having to be like in my world for months and months and months and months or years and years and years, right, because of the power of attraction marketing. All right. So attraction marketing flow. All right. Think about like my story marketing. So telling your story, building deep know, like, and trust, sharing your journey. That's all with attraction marketing. All right. And big thing, like this is one of those areas for 100 days. Like we're going to focus a lot on that, right? Because we're going to dive really, really deep over those 100 days and like every day, like sharing bits and pieces of your journey and of your story, right? So that you speed up the process of people gaining know, like, and trust and making buying decisions with you. All right. I want to help y'all get to these $100, $500, $600 days, right? And so like attraction marketing, my story marketing, we're going to be touching upon that really, really tough during these 100 days. All right. The next thing that I did, right? Or another thing, and these are no specific order, but I was just like, oh my gosh, so many ideas came to me. All right, hold on one second. All right, y'all got to just hang tight with me, all right? Just gonna hang tight. I love it. Premium coaching for new tax pros says, take your time, please. Awesome. And of course, y'all know that if you have to hop off, feel free to hop off. The replay will be up there for you. I just believe there's power in being here live. But I do want to take my time because I want you to really get a lot out of this. I'm not here to sell you, right? Like, yes, I want you doing this 100-day challenge with us. I want you to work with me, or I want you to invest in yourself so that I can begin to mentor and really work with you. I want you to have the best of the resources, right, that my business has to offer. But more importantly, I really, really want you to get it, right? I really want you to get it. All right. I want to be one of those people in your life where it's like my business changed, right, when I started tapping into her videos and her live streams. Right. The next thing, I think this one is so big, right? Is one main system of earning. Right? Remember earlier where I said multiple streams of income, like that mindset, chaotic selling, like did not serve me. Remember my breakthrough in 2013. Less than $200. I had a decision to make. I invested $147 of my last money. And as soon as I invested it, right, I kind of chickened out. And a couple of days later, I came to my senses and I said, Steph, do what you know how to do. Create your system. And then once it's done, you're not going to touch it. And you're going to get out there and do your videos every single day, right? Because I followed that process. My goal was $3,000 in my first 30 days. I ended up doing $6,000 in my first 30 days. The next 30 days, right, I hit a grand total of $17,000 from a $147 investment. Why? Because I rallied around one main system of earning, right? And this was coming off of, right, that big valley, right, of $1,400 a month, right, where I was like totally whacked out in my business, right? I went from having right under $200, right, to $6,000 in 30 days and $17,000 in 60 days. Why? I focused on one main system of earning. And over that 12-month, actually over 24 months, I believe I was with that company before the owner passed away, right? I was like right up there, almost at six figures, right? Like 96,000 one year. And I think the other year was like 86 something but one main system of selling, all right? One main system of selling. Okay. So when I say system of selling, much like my GoPro system, all right, that's a system of selling. All right. I don't have all of these things all spread around. Okay. The power in that is, again, if you want to build a business based upon like proximity and leadership and people deciding to buy and invest in themselves, right, to be a part of your world, if you give people a gazillion options, right, the likelihood is they'll do nothing. And you really can't serve people at a high level, right, if you're spreading what you have to offer so thin. All right. And so when you have one main system of earning, it makes it so doggone easy every single morning when you wake up to run your play, knowing this is what I'm selling. Like all roads lead here. I'm building my email list for this. The marketing messages are for this, right? I'm going live for this. Right? Like you could do special things like the challenge I'm doing right now. You could do a Black Friday thing, right? You can do, 12 days of Christmas. You could do all of those kind of marketing strategies. But again, right, the focus being one main system of earning. All right. You want to compound everything that you do. You don't want to spread yourself thin. You don't want to take the shotgun approach, right, in your business, because believe it or not, that's a belief struggle, right? People take the shotgun approach because they don't believe, right, that they can do six figures by marketing one system, or it's a fear of loss, right? Or again, grass is greener on the other side. No, the grass is going to be green where I water it. And every single day I'm watering this one income system. Therefore, I'm going to earn from this one income system, period. Right? The year that I hit over six figures, right? One main income system, right? I had 3 income streams within that one income system, 250, 500, and 1,000. All right. The reason I hit over 100,000 is because I had 100 $1,000 customers, and I had a couple of clients, right, customers that were at the lower levels, but it was one system. They had to make a decision within one system. And so throughout the year, I would run certain promos like I'm doing now, right? But they had to join the system, right, in order to be a part of it. All right. So again, one main system of earning, a big key, right, to me building six figures. All right. I'm just going to stop saying numbers because I didn't number this, right? Using systems. All right. The next one was actually using systems. If you build a business, right, where you're not using systems, it means you're not likely building your email list. That's probably the biggest system you can have in your business. All right. Good luck getting to six figures, right? Not building an email list. You've got to decide to use systems. You got to get that capture page up. You got to get that autoresponder activated. All right. It's so funny as I've been saying this over the past week or two, right? Like I'm looking at the commissions that have been running in, right? From me being an affiliate of like a lot of my tools, my autoresponders, my capture page. People are like, okay, Steph, I'm starting to hear you, right? You don't have an online business. You feel any kind of way you want to about me, come for me if you want to, but it's the truth. You don't have an online business, right? Without a system running your income streams. You don't. You have a hope, wish, and a prayer. You're chasing buyers, but you do not have an online business. All right. An online business, right, is ran from email marketing. It's ran from systems. All right. You got to get your business from a place of, right, audience, right, to your email list, to your databases, and that's done through systems. All right. The next one is, this is a biggie. Y'all write this down, and I want you to use a highlighter on this baby. All right. 1 year mindset. Okay. 1 year mindset. So we're getting ready to do this 100-day blitz. All right. That's fantastic. That's not your overarching mindset, right? In terms of like goal, right? I want you to really be locked into, I'm working this, look how this all works together, right? This one income system, right? So like in my instance, my GoPro system, I'm locked in that baby for a year. Now for me, I say a year, but it don't really mean a year. Like it's going to be far exceeding that, but it's the 1 year mindset. That saves me from shiny object syndrome. It saves me from wanting to jump around. It saves me from thinking the grass is greener. It saves me from thinking I got to do all these different things. It saves me, keeps me locked in. So imagine what you could do if every single day you knew you were focused on one income system and every single day you were growing that. All right. So again, right, with the opportunities I shared with you, right, where I hit very close to six figures and over six figures, right? I worked it for an entire year. Like the entire year was dedicated to that, right? And the next year. So even the opportunity Pure Profit Pro, where I hit over six figures, right? The next year I rocked it again. I rocked it year after year, I think for almost 3 years before the company owner closed up shop. The other opportunity, I rocked it for 2.5 years before the company owner passed away. Right? So it's like I go into everything, right, where I know I want to achieve something huge with a 1 year mindset, right? It's not a 30, 60, 90 day. It's not a let's see if this works. It's a 1 year mindset, right? So you take something like the blueprint, right, just for number's sake, right? You're rocking that for a year. If you were just to sell one a day, that's $36,000 a year. Not bad, right? Like not bad. Right? You take something like the entire My GoPro system, right? $600. That's someone that's doing one all-in person a day, right? So 600 times 365, right? That's $219,000 a year. Why would you not want to focus? Why would you not want to say, yes, I'm going all in and focusing here for an entire year and sending all of your marketing efforts here? Why would you not? Right? And so I know for me, every single time, again, even when I was doing coaching and consulting, right? I'm writing it out for the year. If I make decisions, it's beyond there. All right. It's beyond there. All right. The next one is daily content creation and daily action. Again, okay. Going back to 2007, I knew nothing about making money online. I knew nothing about having an online business, but what I did know was that if I wanted to start making sales, I had to get out there, create daily content, and create daily action. So deciding to do a video every single day, it was an easy decision to make because there was no other decision to oppose it. What else was I going to do? Okay. So if you want to get to six figures, you've got to commit to daily content and daily action taking. Content is what draws people into you. You're here because of content. You're rocking with me right here because of content. All right. So daily content creation, which again, for the 100 days, right, you're going to end up having 100 plus pieces of content out there working for you, right? That's what we're building towards every single day. And your content's going to be designed to be synergistic. And you're going to get better and better and better every single day. If you've never done anything for 100 days, like this is going to be the time where you're going to be able to say, I did something for 100 days. All right. And the likelihood is you're going to marvel at the outcome when it's all said and done. All right. One thing I shared yesterday, right, about this is that over these 100 days, if you are struggling with your belief structures at all, trust me, I'm going to be sharing a lot of things with you, right? That's going to help you adapt my belief systems, my mindset around a lot of things that might be holding you back that you don't even really think about. But just by making subtle shifts, I said something yesterday and a couple people emailed me and they're like, stuff that's so profound, where I said money's a constant, right? People want to make all of these excuses about like not making money in the economic times and all these different things. But boo-boo, money's a constant. Money doesn't change, right? The housing market, the stock market, all of those things are systems. It has nothing to do with money. Money is an absolute constant. It's literally how we look at it, how we approach it, right? So when you realize like money is a constant, you're like, there's no reason for me not to get out there and do my thing, right? To attract customers and clients and buyers and to build my business. So during these 100 days, along with creating content and taking action, like your belief systems and structures and your mindset is going to change, right, in certain areas that are literally going to just help you create way better content and call in amazing people. Things are really going to change for you over 100 days if you allow it to. All right. Daily follow-up and daily calls to action. All right. Again, these are things I did to help me get to six figures. All right. So using, again, 2007 as one example, as soon, right, as I was taught as I was told to create an email list and I created an email list, my income started to grow almost instantly because I had a way of following up with people. So those that weren't ready or said no or whatever, right, I was able to follow up with them. And through that follow-up process, I was able to give call to actions in every single one of those emails, right? And those emails and those call to actions, right, led to more sales inside of my business. So please write that part down. All right. Daily follow-up, okay, which is going to be your email list, and daily calls to action. Okay. You've got to be asking for the sale every single day. Right? And if you're using systems, you have systems that are helping you to do that. Right? But people need to be evaluating, making buying decisions with you every single day. All right. Whatever the result is you want in your business, if you want daily pay, there's daily things that are a requirement for you to do. So if you are ever wondering how often you should do anything, I want you to hear my voice in your head asking you, how often do you want to earn? How often do you want to make money? Oh, daily? All right, then do that thing daily. Email your list daily. Do the videos daily. Go live daily, right? Work your social media strategy daily. Do the reels daily. Whatever the case may be, right? Do it daily. Your business will only be rewarded for it, right? The next one is setting strong goals and rocking steady in them. All right. One thing I talked about yesterday was, in the show Suits, Harvey said, dreams. I don't have dreams. I have goals. Like he was really like, what are you talking about? And goals is something I learned early on to set inside of my business. At times when I was chasing money, I didn't have goals. I was just trying to keep my head above water. But everything has a funny way of working together. And so this is what I had to ask myself. Was I trying to keep my head above water? And that's why I didn't set goals? Or is it because I didn't set goals that led me into a cycle right, of not working my business the right way. And so I had to scramble and chase money to keep my head above water. All I can tell you is on the side of what did I do to get to six figures is that I'm hyper focused on my goal. So like every single day in my business now, it's non-negotiable, right? Out loud, I talk about the fact that I am a $100,000 a month business, right? Like that's what's going down here. Why? Because my actions have got to reflect it, right? And so when you set strong goals and you rock in those goals, I posted this on Facebook today, right? Your actions reflect what you believe in and what your intentions are. Right? So like me going live, emailing my list, doing the things that I do, like you likely can tell I have very, very strong goals that I believe in and I believe I'm going to hit them. You might not know what the goals are, but you can definitely tell, right, that I'm focused on something, right? And so my actions, right, are a way of me actually saying I believe in where it is I'm going. I believe that I am a $100,000 a month business, right? Like I believe that I can achieve whatever I set my mind to, right? So it's imperative, right, that you don't just set the goals, but that goals literally like are a part of your daily business doing, that you see them daily, you talk about them daily, right? You remind yourself of your goals daily. You're tracking, right, what's going on inside of your business. Like you always know how close or how far away you are from the goal, right? When you zone in, right, and you really hone in on your goals, right? Again, it's easy at that point to avoid things that are counterproductive, right, to that goal, right? It was with one of my coaching clients, and she was saying how she wanted to go here, but she wanted to talk about something else. And I said, but why are we talking about this? Right? So it's like, a lot of times I'm a big sports enthusiast, right? Love MMA. And one thing that annoys fighters is when someone says, oh yeah, like I'm just fighting this guy because I'm looking like they're looking beyond the person, right? It's the worst thing you can do, right? You don't look beyond, right, where you are. Like you focus on exactly what it is that you want, right? And it's like more often than not, when you look beyond the opponent, that opponent ends up getting your number, right? Because you didn't think you had to focus on them too tough. You're focused on something else, right? So in our business, when it comes to our goals, when you lock in and you remind yourself every single day, right? This is a $10,000 month. This is a $10,000 month. It's harder for you, right, to look outside of that and then to speculate or to do things that are not productive, right, or not in alignment with helping you to hit that goal. When you focus on your goal, it is amazing, right, how ideas come to you, strategies come to you. Sometimes like offers. What I mean by offers, like creative way to put things out there. Content ideas. When literally it's like you're rewarded for locking in on what it is that you want, and everything just ends up coming together, right? If you want to have a chaotic business, have your mind all over the place, be speculating on all the various ways that you can earn, right? And you'll find yourself in a continuous muck, right? You'll never hit your goals. You'll always feel like they evade you. But the fact of the matter is you've evaded your goals, right? Because you didn't lock in on them, right? The next one is personal development and growth strategies. One of the biggest compliments that I've received from people that have followed me or worked with me, for an extended amount of time is like, Steph, I see your growth year after year. And it's because I work on my personal growth and my growth strategies. All right. Number one, I'm in the Word of God every single day, right? I am, again, always, I'm reading books and things that, again, allow me to focus. I focus on people that are making a lot more money than I am. I don't just focus on internet marketing, stuff, but I'm always looking to like, how can I be a better leader? All of those things, right? Because at the end of the day, I want to be a better person overall. And by being a better person, it reflects in my business as well. All right. So I look at like who I am. I'm not the same person when I started my business. I'm not the same person even when I had my first six-figure year. All right. But getting to six figures, getting beyond $100,000 a year, right? Reaching the higher levels, right? That I'm after right now, right? The bigger goals that I'm after right now, right? It requires, right, me to continue to expand upon, right, my leadership and my knowledge and becoming a better person. And so I want you to focus in on things like that. So like books like The Slight Edge, right? Where it's like you are challenging yourself with really understanding the power of consistency and really how much power you have, right? For creating what it is that you want to create, and how just slight things that you decide to maybe dismiss or not do on a daily basis, right? Like how responsible you are for where you are right now, good or bad, right? And so by working on my personal development, my growth strategies, the number one thing for me, it's allowed me to be more responsible and to recognize the role I really play, right, in my overall success, right, in my overall success. So I want to really encourage you to hone in on that way as well. The one thing I'll tell you about me, so especially during this 100 days, if you enjoy my content, right, because I always talk about mindset and, I talk about it all. We're a total package. Like you're going to get a little bit of all of that over the 100 days. You're not going to be able to help but get better, right, over these 100 days. All right. SLT Business Consulting says, I'm going to be up all night getting my system set up. I'm so excited about this challenge. Yes, I love hearing that. I'm so excited about it as well. I really, really am. I've been putting this off for too long. And it's just like now, like all the stars seem to be aligned. Like it's like the time to do this. And so I'm so doggone excited. This next one is big, realizing my value in the marketplace. Right. So again, this kind of goes up to don't compare yourself to other people. But I realized, right, that I was valuable to the marketplace. As I started making more sales and people were telling me why they were buying from me, I realized, right, like my value in the actual marketplace as someone that could be helpful, useful, and that could be an incredible resource in the lives of other people, right? If you don't believe that you are valuable in the marketplace, if you're constantly doubting why someone should buy from you, people used to always say that to me, Steph, why would someone decide to join me when they can join you? Well, they might not like me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Like, I know that's really, really hard to put your mind around, but I'm not everybody's cup of tea, right? So when you realize the fact that no, like I'm valuable, right? Write this down. These are 3 beliefs that literally, like once you really, really get them, they will change the way you show up in your marketing and in your promotion. All right. What I know is valuable. Write that down. What I know is valuable. Number 2, I know that people desire, right, my value and what I know. So number 1, I know I'm valuable, or I know what I know is valuable, however you want to word that, right? Number 2, I know people desire and want my value and what I know. So what does that mean, right? If you know how to drop 50 pounds in 30 days, right, there are people out there that desire to want to know that, all right? I know how to build a 6-figure business for myself. I know there are people out there that desire to learn how to build a 6-figure business, right? So I know the value I possess for certain. There are people out there that desire it, right? Hands down, like I know it. No one convinced me otherwise. And the number 3, I know there are people out there waiting to receive this value in what I know from me. Game changer. Game changer right there. So when you realize that people are literally out there waiting to get the value and the knowledge from you, that very thing will get you off your butt doing what you've got to do because you know that people are waiting, right? That's when you know that you recognize and you realize your value in the actual marketplace, that there is a place for you and that people are in fact waiting for you. All right. Believe it or not, that's a little mindset shift right there, right? That will have you taking action even on days where you feel like maybe you could be doing other things or you might be doubting yourself. To know that someone's waiting for you, right, will have you doing something. And what I have found for myself is oftentimes when I'm like, okay, I've got to do it, because those end up being times where I end up having breakthroughs inside of my business. I've shared this before too. Many nights, right, many years ago, and it still happens to this day, where it's like, I don't want to go live, right? I've had a long day or whatever. I don't want to go live. And it was those very days where I would go live, connect with people, kick knowledge, all the things, and end up going to bed, right, with several thousands of dollars extra, right? Because I showed up, guess what? People showed up, wanted to learn, and they were ready to invest and take action. Why? Again, because I realize that people are waiting for me. They're waiting for my value. They want what that I have to offer, but they're also beyond just the topic. They want it from me. Therefore, I must show up. I must do the things. It's a game changer. Absolute game changer. All right. Taking action over perfection. Taking action over perfection. Y'all, again, that should be that'll be a time saver for a lot of people. Okay, action over perfection. Just do it ugly. Just get out there, begin doing your thing. Don't worry about perfection. It's not why people make their decisions. All right, so action over perfection. Okay, the next one is building a community and being there for people who earned it. Okay, this was big for me. I learned this very early on, and there was a phase the reason I know this is so important is because I did it early on, and it had a profound impact on my business. I got away from building community, right? And it had a profound impact on my business in not a good way. And as I've gotten back to building a community, it's had a profound effect on my income. All right. Again, your business is about giving people what they desire. And believe it or not, the majority of people want to belong a part of something bigger than themselves. They don't want to really just purchase things. They want to be a part of a community. This is why courses have kind of gone away and people started creating programs, right? Is because they understand the community vibe, right? Being there for your people is everything. All right. And so when you build a community, right, like your people know you've created something for them to support them and that you're really about their actual growth. And a community, right, is also a fantastic base for ongoing business inside of your, a business as well, right? And so it allows you to be able to monetize in a variety of different ways. I'll share this. When I think about being a store, right? Remember I said I have multiple streams of income, but I'm not sitting here throwing my income streams around. Just from my affiliate opportunities, like with my page builders and my capture and my autoresponders and the various tools that I use, I earn more in affiliate commissions than most full-time affiliate marketers, right? Because of the way that I sell them in my business, right? I don't have to call myself an affiliate marketer to make really fat commissions in affiliate marketing. It's just I align in these opportunities the right way and I present them to my community in the right way. All right. So building a community, like I would say right now from where you are, rank it right up there with building an email list, right? Decide that you're not selling things, right? But that you are affording people the opportunity to buy from you and to be a part of like what you are building. Again, you're taking them on a journey with you. All right. There's a variety of ways that you can build and create a community, but more than anything, it's a vibe, right? It is a vibe. It's an energy. It's a mindset. So like me showing up and doing live streams on YouTube, I could consider this a community build. It doesn't have to be contained in a Facebook group or, somewhere specific. It's a whole vibe where people are like, yes, I'm a part of that community and they feel a place of belonging where they can show up, where they can learn, right? Where they kind of feel safe in making decisions. That's what you want to build. All right. And believe it or not, that's going to help you grow your leadership skills in such a major way. And that's exactly what really helped me in 2007 as I was getting started. And it exploded my income, right, in a very, very short period of time. I'll share this one story. I only have a couple of things left after this anyways, but I think this will be eye-opening for you. So as you heard, by the end of my 100 days, around November timeframe, I think that was around 100. I just know the November timeframe. We had about 500 people in our community. So the person that bought the first product on my third day became my business partner. We started doing calls together and all those kind of things. But we had about 500 people in our community in November, and we wanted to actually start like increasing our earning power. So we aligned in an opportunity, right, that would pay us $150 every single time we referred someone to the opportunity. And I remember we were so excited to bring it to our community, but we were also very, very afraid, thinking that people would think we're all about the money and all those kind of things. But anyways, we did a conference call with all of them. We shared with them what we were doing. And we said, if you want to be a part of this, just reach out to us individually right after the call and let us know, and we'll go ahead and give you all of the detail. And I remember I was like sweating profusely. I was like so nervous. And after the call, my phone was literally blowing up. My phone and my email were blowing up with people that were like, Steph, this is amazing. Like they were so ready. They were so like in the energy of it. It made so much sense for them. They were excited to increase their own earning power. And there was no selling. We were just telling them what we were doing. And because we had built a community, they instantly trusted us and they wanted to get positioned. They wanted to be in this with us. Right. And so you can only imagine how fast like I, grew my income in such a short period of time because I had people that trusted me. Right. And were willing to take my advisement. So again, right up there with building an email list, decide, right, to have a community vibe about what you're doing right now so that people know that they are in business for themselves. Right. But they really have a mentor or a leader or a community that they'll be able to turn to. Right. This space is notorious for people like getting dropped, right? Buying and just being sold something. And so when you can be the person that's like, I'm going to be here for you, like, believe it or not, that gives you such an edge. It really, really does. All right. And so again, that's been major with helping me, earn over 6 figures a year. The next one is, again, knowing where I was going and alignment. I learned this very, very late in my journey. Right. But like seriously locking in on where I'm going, right. And making sure that all of my decisions are in alignment and that support where it is that I'm going. So again, I'll make this short. When you know where it is you're going and you're locked in on it, it's easy to recognize the people, resources, and tools that are in alignment with helping you get there. And it's also very easy to recognize what is not in alignment and being able to say no to opportunities and things that present themselves to you. And so that helps you not waste your time, right? And to stay locked in, right, on what it is that you're doing. We're all going to be presented with opportunities, like we're human, but it's up to us to say yes or no to those opportunities, right? And you hedge the bets. Like you're able to be more decisive when you know where it is that you're going, because then you can recognize whether or not the thing that you're evaluating or that's being presented to you, if it even makes sense in the first place. All right. And then the last thing is recommitting every 30 days. I'm sure there's so many things that I can add to this, but most people, like, your eyes are probably already glazing over, like, with all of these things. But I hope, if anything, like, this can be, if you took notes, that as you go about your daily business building, that you'll give what you do more thought, right? And kind of maybe set up maybe an audit for your own business, right? To do way less of, or to dismiss the things, right, that I'm telling you did not help me get to 6 figures, and to decide to be more attentive and aware of the things that help me get to 6 figures and to incorporate them more inside of your business. One word that I shared earlier that I'm going to share again today, right, as I close this out, right, is practice. All right. You've got to decide, like, when it comes to these things, like, for example, recommitting every 30 days, that becomes a practice, right? So at the end of 30 days, I evaluate how it went. If I hit my goal, did I exceed it? Did I fall short? Why did I fall short? I answer a series of questions, right? And so that is a practice that I've fallen into. Like, all of these things, they end up being a practice that you end up falling into inside of your business, right? And they will end up making your business over time. And again, that's kind of one of those ways where you end up developing yourself. This is how you become better. Like, this is how you change as a person, is by making these things, like creating a practice around them, right? Until they become routines and they become habits and they just become a part of the way that you are. All right. But recommitting every 30 days is really, really big, right? So it's not just I'm committing for 100 days, right? So it's kind of like, you're committing for 100 days, you're committing for the year, right? But then by recommitting, right, every 30 days, it's like you are acknowledging again, like, I ain't going nowhere. Like, the next 30 days are going to be my best 30 days. Write that down, right? The next 30 days are going to be my best 30 days. So instead of competing or comparing yourself to other people, like, you're constantly beating your best. All right. And so by just recommitting every 30 days, like, you are solidified, then I'm not going nowhere and I'm really locking this in. All right. If you guys do have any questions, right, feel free to drop them in the live chat. I'm just going to share one more time before we close out. Over here. What the 100-day blitz is all about, 100K in 100 days mentorship blitz. All right. So I'm doing a 100-day challenge for myself, period, which is all about going hard for 100 days, right? With, for me, a lot of video content, right? So video content, emailing my list, building my business, right? For 100 days. I'm doing exactly what I did when I first kicked off my business in 2007. All right. I'm calling it 100K in 100 days because it's a 100K or a six-figure mindset. All right. So I'm on a trek right now to building, right, a 100K month business. All right. You might be looking to build a foundation for 6 figures a year, right? But whatever the case may be, it's the whole mindset, right, of 6 figures, right? Building an overall 6 figures. How often you want to do it and what time span you want to do it is up to you. But I want to help you fall into the right action steps, right, to make it possible for you, where you actually end up seeing like, okay, this is doable, right? Like it's way more likely it's going to happen than it's not going to happen. All right. So number one, it's about 100 days of commitment to the outcome you desire. It's about 100 days of focused action towards your intentional outcome. Imagine if you focused and took action very intentionally for 100 days, right? Do you think you would fail? Do you think you would screw things up, right? Do you think this would be the biggest mistake you ever made? Or do you think you would come out on top? I know the answer to that, right? It's about 100 days of growing your audience, growing your email list, and growing your sales. And it's about 100 days, right, of growth and results. All right. And over 100 days, I'm going to be your daily mentor in your ear, right? Inspiring you, empowering you, and arming you with focus and actionable guidance. All right. So on a daily basis, all you got to do is open an email, click on a link, and there'll be an audio there waiting for you. Okay. No Zoom calls, nothing you have to schedule. You'll be able to listen to the audios as time presents itself to you. Grab a notebook, take action, right? Or write down notes, right? And then take action, right, on what was shared for the day. It's going to be simple, digestible, profound, right? But it's going to drop you in. It's going to help you take action, right, in an amazing way, right, to make this, right, like the best 100 days in your business, right, in a very, very long time. It's designed to like set your business on fire. You've heard what I was able to do as a complete newbie, right? When I did my 100-day journey. And to me, the reason why it was such a success is, number one, I just simply knew that I was doing it to take people on a journey and to prove that somebody could go from being completely new, right, to actually achieving, right, results inside of their business. I called it my 100-day to prosperity, right? Because I knew I wasn't going to fail. I knew that I was going to show people, right, what is possible, and that I could reach a level of success and prosperity over 100 days. And that's exactly what I did. It all came down to belief, and it all came down to commitment. All right. I want to be the person in this with you over these 100 days, right? Because it's been proven, right, that by having mentorship, by having leadership in this way, right, where you're not left all by yourself, right, that you will become more empowered, right, to make it through every single day and to actually make it through the 100 days, achieving, right, what it is that you want to achieve. All right. So, no, it's actually, you've got to be all in. So it's my GoPro system, right? And it's for those that are locked in with both programs. So hopefully that answers your question. So if anyone is here, okay, so I'm going to, again, share how this works. My GoPro system, all right? Get your resources. So you'll see everything there that you need to align it. All right. Up until tomorrow. Okay. There's a few payment options. You can do Afterpay. You can do Klarna. And that allows you to break up your payments. All right. If you've had any problems with Afterpay or Klarna, like you're in another country, or you just haven't been able to use it for whatever reason, like they're not accepting you, right? Message me. Right. And I'm setting up a very special 2-pay option. It's only good up until tomorrow. This is not a standing offer in my business. All right. So it'd be $275 today and then $275 30 days from today. All right. That will allow you to get started, right, in the turnkey program, right? Make sure you have everything that you need. You'll be able to duplicate the actual system, right, that we're using, the MyGoPro system. You'll be able to completely duplicate that, right? And you'll be able to get started with it in-house, right? Like I'm setting up the 2-pay option for you. So if that is the option that you need to get started, please email me and I will send you over that special link, right? So that you can take advantage of that. All right. This mentorship, and y'all can tell, 100 days. Like if I were to charge someone, it would be $1,500. It'd be $500 a month to get access to this style of mentorship, right? And so by saying you got to have the tools, like $610, right? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing to get the mentorship included for free. And again, because I wanted to help as many people as possible, if Afterpay or Klarna like is a challenge for you for whatever reason, like I said, I have people that are out of the country, can't use it, right? Or people that are in states and they, for whatever reason, they just can't use it, right? Then you can email me and I have a special link where you can do a 2-pay with me, right? $275 now and $275 30 days from now. If you don't believe like over the next 30 days, like you're going to be profitable in your business, then this challenge isn't for you anyways. Again, like I want to work on your mindset it's not for you anyways, right? Like you got to believe you're in this for 100 days, right? Because you're seeking transformation. And the reason I'm doing the 100 days is I want to prove to you like what you can achieve, right? When you're focused on a daily basis and you're being very, very specific with your action steps. For most people, I'm taking you from a place of very inconsistent, like lackluster activity, right, to a place of, oh my gosh, like I'm taking way more action. I've taken in a very, very long time for a longer span of time, right? One question for you, right? And my mentor asked this and I thought was profound, right? When was the last time you committed to anything, right, for let's say 60 days and you failed? So whether it was 60 days for a weight loss program, 60 days of getting your steps in, like whatever the case may be, when was the last time that you committed to 60 days of anything and you completed the 60 days and you actually failed? That's exactly how I feel about this 100-day challenge, this 100-day blitz. That's the exact mindset you need to bring into this. You will not fail. You will not fail. You will only come out better, right? You will only come out better. All right. The last time I did this, the investment was over $1,000 into the business opportunity that I was promoting at that time, many years ago. And it's like I shared in my email, the results were remarkable. People that had never made money. Why? Because they got to meet with me every single morning, right? I think it was for 90 days, right? We were meeting every single morning, right? And I was helping them and they felt inspired and energized, and they were excited. I could answer their questions. I'm not doing the whole morning. I'm not doing the daily morning meetings. That's hard for a lot of people. But to know that you can listen to a daily audio and get tapped in, priceless, absolutely priceless, right? And you will succeed. These 100 days will absolutely change the trajectory of your business, right? And of yourself, right? I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't feel this way. This is not a sales or a marketing tactic. I would not be doing this and committing myself in this way, right? If I did not believe it. So it's a commitment on both sides. It's a commitment, right? On both sides. I'm committing and you're committing, right? To get access, right? To the tools, right? Why? Because those that have the tools are set up for success fast. They're building their email list. They have what they need. They have all the training that they need to brand all the things that they need to build an online business is there, right? So I know that the training, the daily mentorship is not going in vain. All right. It's not going in vain, but it's going to help you, right? Build up your business. So again, right, if you want to take action, mygoprosystem.com, you can log in to your resources. All right. Once you log into your resources, you'll also receive an email from me allowing you to duplicate to My GoPro system so that you can sell both programs at the same time. And again, if Afterpay or Klarna is giving you a challenge, just email me and I'll set you up with a 2-pay in-house plan allowing you to get set up for $275 today and $275 30 days from today. We kick off on September 1. So if you know you're locked in and you don't get an email from me, like reach out, right? Because I think I have everything squared away. Like I really do. But if you slip through the cracks and you don't get an email from me tomorrow night, right? By tomorrow night, please email me and say, yo, Steph, right? Like I know that I'm in, make sure that I'm hooked up, right? I'll make sure you're in the list, but I think I'm all squared away. All right. If you guys do have any questions whatsoever, I think there's any other question. I answered Deb's question. Thomas says, leaving better than I came. Jordan says, I was able to get my emails automated in a few days thanks to this system. Yes, sir. I love hearing that. I'm so excited. Yes. And I loved watching your video, right, when you were sharing that. So like, check that out. Jordan has never been a part of a learn and earn system. I'm so excited that it was my learn and earn system that she aligned herself with, but she's doing daily videos. She's taking people through her journey. She's sharing what it is that she's learning. She's encouraging people to get the blueprint from her. And she shared that she was able to get her emails automated in a few days. Why? Because I give you 90 days worth of emails as part of the blueprint. So she could go through there and just get her emails automated. And like you said, a few days. Y'all, we were hooking people up. We're hooking people up, right, with the resources and with the tools within this system. All right. So if you are ready to go all in, like this 100-day challenge is for you. All right. It is for you. All right. I'm going to say this one thing in closing. And it probably is something I should have added. All right. Investing in yourself is the greatest thing that you can ever do. All right. It's the absolute greatest thing that you can ever do. Why? Because no one can ever take away the knowledge and the skills that you acquire and that you develop when you invest in yourself and you actually learn from that which you invest in. And like Jordan did, right? Applied it directly to her. No one's ever going to be able to take that away from her. Right? I made this challenge as such because I really did want to reward people that were investing and going all in this way. I've been in this space for a long time. And so I just know, and this, again, I'm sensitive when I say this because it's not a knock at any one situation, but I know in the big scheme of things, right? If we're on a track to building a 6-figure business, right? $10,000 a month, an investment, of this nature, 100 and 500, it really is not a lot, right? Especially with all the concessions that are in place, right? To help you in taking action, getting position, and making sure you have what you need, right? To get set up for success, right? And so when you invest in this way and you begin to dial into the training, right? No one can ever take away what it is that you're learning, what you're picking up, what you're doing for yourself. You're literally investing into yourself. You become better because of this. You only come out on top, right? When you invest in yourself and actually follow the formula. And the formula is simple. Invest in yourself. Log in and learn from that which you invest in. Once you learn, you apply what you learn directly back to your business, right? You begin to earn based upon your application, right? If you want to amplify your income, right? Really get out there, begin sharing your journey and becoming a part of other people's world, much like what I do in my business. And guess what? Now people will begin to want to align with you because of you being a great leader. Sorry about that, y'all. You being a great leader, right? And guess what? It helps you grow your income even further. So some people get started on this journey, right? And they just begin to, they take what it is that they learn, they apply it to their business, and they just begin to sell. And there's nothing wrong with it. They just begin to sell. And so they begin to make money. But then when you really decide to let people in on your journey and you're sharing what's going on with you, what you're learning, and people now want proximity to you, that's when your income begins to amplify. That's when your income begins to grow, right? And that's a really beautiful and a really, really powerful thing. And that's what I want to help more people do. I really feel like I am raising up an army. That's how I look at it, right? When I look at people like Rhonda so excited, and I look at, Shantae so excited. I look at that, right? I look at where Jordan is right now. She's so excited. That's an inspiration to me, right? To know that, again, it's kind of like each one teach one, right? Each one teach one, because there's more people out there that are struggling than there are succeeding. And I want to be able to change that some, right? though I don't think the playing field or it'll ever be level, there will always be more people that are likely, failing around than are succeeding, right? But can we kind of like balance the scales just a little bit? Right? Can I do my part to help a few hundred people, right, over these next 100 days, be able to learn more about digital marketing, being able to realize that they can actually do this, helping them become more knowledgeable, helping them become more skillful, helping them go from not having an email list to having an email list, helping them go from not knowing how to market to learning how to market. Can I do that? Right? Can you do that? Yes, we can. To me, that's what this is really all about. All right. So, like, if you're feeling me on this and this has like done something for you and you're like, Steph, I got to be a part of this. Again, go to my GoPro system, right? Lock yourself in, like, get access to the tools that are going to, number one, help you learn and excel, and that are going to also help you get set up for online business success. So, that all the things like I shared tonight, guess what? You can put yourself in that winning position, right? To be able to hedge the bets with more of the things that got me to six figures, right? Versus the things that did not get me to six figures. All right. So I really, really hope that you are leaving better than when you came. Like, if you know it's time to take action, you want to close this year out strong. You want to align with your girl, Steph Perez, like as your mentor for these next 100 days. I'm inviting you to come along this challenge, right? And to be on this journey with us. All right. It's going to be amazing. And I look so forward to, number one, getting to know you a little bit better. And then number two, celebrating your successes and your wins along these 100 days. So go to mygoprosystem.com to get all the details and to enroll. And again, if you need the in-house payment plan with me, just shoot me over an email and I'll send you over that special link, right? But I would definitely try Afterpay and Klarna because they can actually spread your payments out a little bit further than I can actually do, all right? And if you have any questions, feel free to hit reply on any email that you may have received from me. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions and help you in that way. All right. So be inspired, my friends. Be empowered. Take action and take charge. It's your life, right? We only have one life to live. Like, let's just go crazy over these next 100 days. Let's defy the odds, right? And let's do more than we thought we were capable of doing, right, in 100 days. I believe it's possible for you, and I look so forward to guiding you on this journey. All right. Have a fantastic night, and I will see y'all back tomorrow. Bye.